All right, so the function h of t here is representing the height of the ball after t seconds. And what we're being asked to find is how many seconds after being thrown will the ball hit the ground. So for the ball to hit the ground, that means we want the height to be 0. So that means we're going to set this entire equation or function equal to 0 and solve for t. And we're going to do that by factoring. We're going to start by looking for the greatest common factor of these three terms, and that happens to be negative 16. So if we factor out a negative 16, in the brackets we'll be left with t squared minus 4t. And I know that's correct because if I multiply negative 16 times negative 4, I would get positive 64. And then if we do 80 divided by negative 16, we would get negative 5. Okay, great. Now we can essentially ignore this negative 16 and factor what's inside here. So I'm going to set up my two sets of brackets, put my t in front of each. Now I'm looking for two numbers that are going to multiply or have a product of negative 5 and a sum of negative 4. So I know 5 and 1 are definitely going to be involved, where the 5 is negative and the 1 is positive. That way when we add them, we would get negative 4. So we're going to have a minus 5 and a plus 1. Setting each of those equal to 0, we would get that our time would equal 5 or our time would equal negative 1. But of course, because we're dealing with time, we can't have negative time, so we're going to cross that one out, which leaves 5 as our only solution. And that matches our first choice. All right, that's all for this video, and thanks for visiting JD's Preparation.